Welcome to Landis Entertainment. Here I am, your host Jeff Landis, along with.
Joseph Townsend.
So how's it going, man?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
Not too bad. I've known you for a couple of years, and we got a lot of mutual friends, especially Mike Moses. You're a big supporter of him and his business. But so what are you running for, and why?
So I'm running for fourth city council in the fourth district. And because I believe that neighborhoods and focusing on districts as a whole rather than just 100% downtown focus is very important. So that is why I've decided to run, because I think that we forgot about different aspects of the city rather than just the 100% downtown focus.
So when did you decide I want to do this? Because again, like I said, sometimes we go through life of changes, and you're like, well, I can make a change too. When did you decide let's do this now?
So I was planning on running for at large, which is the city as a whole. But then when Jason Arp decided that he was running for mayor, at that point I knew that I had a best chance of making the biggest difference running fourth district, because my platform is to focus on different districts rather than just downtown. So candidates like that do best representing their own district. So I think being able to represent my own district from the council table is the best. So.
One thing I also noticed about you too, like I said, we've been friends for a while, is too you support a lot of local businesses, and not many politicians do that, and districts do that stuff because they're all about focusing on themselves. And you seem like you're the people type of person. What made you decide, hey, I want to connect with the right people?
So yeah, I own a small business myself. So I own the Best Western out at Southwest. And so as somebody that owns a small business, I realize that small businesses is what creates the most jobs. So I am very passionate about other small businesses. So I work with a lot of small businesses through my hotel, bringing in different bands or comedians and things like that. And they stay at my hotel, and we promote each other. So yeah, that is a big aspect of what I'm about, is bringing people to Fort Wayne, and through, as I said, through different bands and through different comedians and things like that, we're able to bring a lot of local talent to Fort Wayne that we otherwise wouldn't be able to. So.
Yeah, I also noticed too that you have like you have a certain hater that's always messaging you and trying to. Why? I mean, again, I get it. I understand. Life is a competition, no matter what you do, politician, religion, entertainment, or whatever. You got competitors that's willing to do anything to take you out. How do you feel about that?
So that's just politics as a whole, but I try to shy away from that and run on my own platform rather than focus on other people. But yeah, one of my opponents in particular has people that align with him that are about trying to take other candidates down. But I'm definitely focused on what I can do for the fourth district rather than what my opponents offer or don't offer to bring to the table. So I'm definitely passionate about what I can bring to the fourth district as a whole. So.
Yeah, one thing I realize about politics is I don't really get into it too much. Again, like I said, nothing offensive with what you do, but it's a lot of cutthroat. Because before I want to try to run for mayor, I'm surprised you haven't tried to decide to run for mayor, or you just want to take small steps and eventually go to that way. Because some people normally do. I mean, look at
yeah. So I mean, yeah, I'm definitely passionate about what I'm doing in running for city council. So I know a lot of people, they use what they run for as a stepping stone for the next level, but I'm not focused on that aspect. I will definitely what I'm running for is what I want to run for. So I'm somebody that I'm not going to run for something if that's not what I want to run for. So the only other time I ran for office, it was for city council as well. I ran at large, which is citywide. So I've had other opportunities and people approach me about to run for other stuff, but that's not what I'm passionate about. What I'm passionate about is city council, and that's why I'm running for city council. So.
Yeah, I've dealt with city council like back in 2000 and something.
2000 something.
Something where I challenged the mayor and Tom Didier and Glenn Hines, and I don't remember who else was on the thing, Rochelle or whatever. Again, so I don't get into politics too much, but I challenged them to do the homeless challenge for a week because, what do you think about the homeless population? I mean, it's.
Yeah, I mean,
how would you fix that too? I mean, if you have any ideas for that as well.
So, I mean, yeah, I think the biggest thing is to work with the different ministries that offer the homeless opportunities. So, and we have a lot of abandoned houses we can look at, especially in the southeast part of Fort Wayne, where they're just abandoned or boarded up, that we can utilize that, because it's a lot more expensive to try to take care of the homeless when they're homeless rather than to put them into a shelter that's a lot less expensive, so and plus, being out in the elements when it's freezing cold is unsafe. So yeah, giving them the opportunity to have a place to go, I think, is a big thing. I know at my hotel, I do deal with different organizations that deal with the homeless, and depending on the situation, sometimes that we are able to offer them something as well. Bright Point, as an example, is an organization I deal with. I deal with the Boyd Township trustees, where they'll give them, a hotel for a week or two. And a lot of times they just need, maybe a week or two to be able to get on their feet, because a lot of them have jobs. So they have jobs and they're able to save that paycheck for a week or two and then have a place to go, So, because right now we have a housing shortage for sure, especially people trying to rent. So a lot of times it's just a matter of them finding a place and that might take a week or two. So yeah, I mean, we can work with the local hotels, and because I know there's the bad rap that some hotels they have just like a bunch of homeless people at them, but I mean, I work with organizations that house them, so they're able to filter and make sure that they're people that legitimately just need a place and are able to get back on their feet. So giving them a place for a week or two until they get on their feet is not a bad option, in my opinion. So
Yeah, it seems like it's a lot of work doing the politicians and politics and stuff like that. But again, like I said, you're here to make a change. Most people want to do it for money for the pockets.
yeah, well, it doesn't pay. It doesn't pay very well to begin with. So yeah, I mean,
Oh wow! See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it pays like around 25,000. So I mean, so doing it for the money on that wouldn't be a. I do know that every once in a while, pay increase comes up on it, and I think that we shouldn't make it a profitable business. Like, you should do it because you want to do it and make a change, not for the pay of the position. So, but yeah, I mean, 25,000 for just going to one meeting a week. I mean, you do have other aspects of it. You do have other aspects of it where, you have constituents hit you up all the time on Facebook and things like that. So it is more than just one day a week position for sure, and it should be. But it doesn't pay bad for what you do. And plus, as I said, you shouldn't do it for the money anyway. You should do it because you want to help people. So.
You see, I never looked at it on the other side of the table, because we're actually at a table right now. But you know what I mean? So like I said, it's a lot of work, and again, you got to go through campaign and stuff like that. You got to find financial people. You got to. Do you have a game plan what you want to do to get your name out there a little bit more? I mean, obviously we're doing a TV interview and other things too, because again, it's hard to do a lot of stuff, especially when it comes down to a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I mean, door to door is a big aspect with me. Setting up meetings with people at their individual homes. Like today it's noon and I've already gone to 4 homes,
Wow.
talking to people. So to me, that one-on-one interaction, half hour, 45 minutes with somebody at their house is a big thing, because you can have a full in-depth conversation like we're having right now, where you can talk to people and know what their wants and needs are. And from all my conversations with people, their main focus is how their neighborhood can improve. So their streets, their sidewalks, the public safety aspect. So that's their focus, and they realize that we want a vibrant downtown, but to the same extent, if your neighborhood doesn't have sidewalks where your kids can walk on safely, that's a bigger issue to them. So, so we can be all inclusive in what we're doing, rather than have 100% focus on one thing, which is what is happening right now. So.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like I said before, I wasn't want to try to go for mayor, but like I said, it's too much. I like being an entertainer instead. But like I said, I wanted to do kind of what you want to do, like take care of like the William Street. I mean, not just William Street, but like all around it. Like, I mean, we got places that's on your way to downtown that needs a lot of work, and that's an eyesore for us. But when they expect downtown to be the beauty, I mean, speaking of a project, I like literally work right across the street, and this project has been talked about for years. What's your thoughts about the whole? So I know what they're gonna do. They're saying that it's just gonna be a parking lot, but we know in reality it's gonna be an arena.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your thoughts about that?
Well, I mean, so a lot of what they're doing is just redistributing where the entertainment's at, So they're taking it from the north part of Fort Wayne, or they're taking it from other parts of Fort Wayne and centralizing it in downtown, which, a lot of restaurants are building up in different areas because of, the Coliseum, or because where we had the Wizard Stadium at. So restaurants would build up there, and then we would say, okay, now we're going to move it that area. So then that hurts the restaurants that build up there for that reason. So there's not really been any actual job creation. It's just redistributing where the jobs are at. Electric works, while nice, a lot of it, do it best move from New Haven to Fort Wayne. We moved, Joseph DeQuees is putting something in there. So it's been a lot of already stuff that's local that's moving to a more centralized location, which, is nice. But to the same extent, we're not looking at where travelers are actually staying. If you look, exit 302, which is in the southwest part in the 4th District, those hotels sell out way before the hotels downtown do. So people that are traveling into our city are staying in the 4th District way before they are downtown. So like working with the Plex, which is what used the Golf Dome, and bringing in travelers, that works a lot more than what we're doing in downtown. So
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was born and raised here. Were you born and raised here in Fort
yeah,
Wayne?
I graduated from Homestead 2004. I was born at the old Lutheran Hospital. So yeah.
So yeah, you have Fort Wayne history pretty much of everything that's going on. Like I said, I understand that they're trying to make things a little bit better downtown. But again, like I said, what about other places? Again, other places are underrated, and it's like I just don't understand it.
Well, and in the 4th District, what a lot of people think of when they think of the 4th District is they think of a Boyd, and then they think of like the Times Corners area, but they don't think about Waynedale as part of the 4th District as well. And Waynedale in particular gets like the baddest, they get messed over the most from everything that's happening, because there's a lot of sidewalks and things like that in the Waynedale area that haven't been taken care of, or Times Corners, which is part of Wayne Township, but not a Boyd area, like out near where Elmhurst used to be. There's a lot of sidewalks that where they don't even have sidewalks. A lot of major streets that don't have sidewalks. So when kids were going to Elmhurst, they couldn't even walk to school. But now it's still a lot of families live out that way, and they're not able to go on they're not able to ride their bikes, things like that. So yeah, when we're having a focus, and we're trying to do the scooters downtown, but then there's no safe place for them to do the scooters if they go beyond just the downtown area, which I've seen scooters all the way out near like Glenbrook Mall. So the kids are taking the scooters very far away,
Wow.
but then they're not having the pass to do it safely. So we just need to make sure that I think public safety is a big thing, and so. And starting with the sidewalks is the big thing. So.
Yeah, people tend to forget about safety is one thing you got to take care of for sure.
Yeah.
Lately, it's all about the money instead of safety, which shouldn't be like that. Now, your district, again, like I said, where is your district located? Again, like I said, I'm not too familiar with it.
So Times Corners area, all of a Boyd area. If it's a Boyd and in Fort Wayne, if it's a Boyd like out past the chapel, that part, that is county. So like Chestnut Hills is county, not city. So, but yeah. So and then Waynedale. So yeah, if it's 46804 zip code, you're for sure in the 4th District. If you're 46809, then you're for sure in the 4th District. And if you're 46814, then it's a matter of if you're in the city or the county. So yeah, 46804, 46809, and 46814, but 46814 in the city. So
I don't want to sound dumb because again, like I said, I'm interviewing you, and again, like I said, I don't pay attention to districts because again, when I first started doing the whole thing, listening to and watching stuff with the politics, I didn't know anything. Again, I didn't know they had district type of stuff. I thought it was just people getting together that pretty much knew the whole city of Fort Wayne. So again, like I said, I didn't know about the district stuff.
Yeah, so you have 6 districts. You have 6 districts and then 3 people that run at large. So there's 9 total. Right now the makeup is 5-4. So there's 5 Republicans on city council and 4 Democrats. So the 4th district has Jason Orp on it, and he's running for mayor. So I think it's definitely important that we keep the 4th district Republican, Patty Hayes, who ran last time, is running again. So I think it's definitely important that we elect somebody that can beat her and that will be able to campaign vigorously to beat her, and that's what I'm definitely committed to do. So I think that we shouldn't run people that are just opportunists running for every position that comes available, which is what some of the people that run for city council do. So just every time a position comes available, they run for it, and I think that that's not what we want. So.
Now, is there anybody locally that you look up to in politics, like that's driven you to like, hey, I want to do this? I mean, not only just your choice yourself, but again, like I said, we always have somebody that we look up to.
So I definitely respect what Jim Banks has done. So I mean, he started out at a local level in Columbia City, then ran for state senator, and then ran for Congress, and then now is running for Senate. So I think, and he's always self term limited himself, which I think is very important. I mean, even Jason Arp, he ran for city council, has done 2 terms, and now is running for mayor. So, people that limit themselves, I think, is very important. Mitch Harper always did that. He ran. He was in the state house, and self-term limited himself. Then ran for city council, self-term limited himself. Ran for mayor, was unsuccessful, but I mean, he always self-term limited himself. And I think the 4th district has always had people on the Republican side that have self-term limited themselves, and I think that's a very good way to do it, and that's what I would do too. So I would commit to only 2 terms, and then look beyond that if I want to do anything. If I don't, then I just go back to what I do in the private sector as a whole anyway. So
Yeah, like I said, what you do is you own a business, and again, like I said, you feel free to promote your business that you run.
So yeah, I mean, as I said, I own the Best Western. It is in the 4th district, and we bring a lot of as comedians, and I deal with local bars to bring in different things. Like right now, I'm working with a bar that's bringing in arm wrestling. So and they're saying that's going to bring in 300 to 400 people to Fort Wayne. So I mean, things like that is things that is overlooked. So I mean, an arm wrestling event at a local bar isn't going to be a downtown thing. That's 300 to 400 people on a weekend. So you're talking, 3 or 4 hotels are going to sell out because of something that's happening in the 4th district. So a lot of these events are happening in the 4th district, and we have definitely a lot more events that attract people here than what the downtown does. So I think we can focus on that and continue to promote the 4th district, and then other districts can implement what we're doing. So I know out towards the 2nd district, there's a lot of hotels as well that sell out, being near Parkview and things like that, and so they're able to benefit from it as well. So I mean, a lot of other districts are implementing what the 4th district does to attract people, because they have highway access. That's what a lot of people don't think about when it comes to downtown. The reason that a lot of travelers don't go to downtown as their first stop is because they have to go off the highway, which is not downtown. So
No, because you got to go clear on Jefferson. And clear
yeah,
on,
you get off at exit 302 to go to downtown. So you're getting off in the 4th district to go to downtown. So if you're a traveler, a truck driver, a nurse, you're going to want to be close to Lutheran Hospital, so you're going to stay at exit 302. If it's a snowstorm, you're going to get off at exit 302 and stay at a hotel at exit 302 or exit 312 or 311. So yeah, I mean, the downtown hotels are going to get the people doing the conventions and things like that, which is definitely important. Mm-hmm. But we get at exit 302, we get the people doing the conventions as well, because they want to be near all the restaurants that are at exit 302. They want to be near the highway when they leave, so that they don't have to drive all the way from downtown to the highway and then get off. So highway access is something that we can't change, so we need to work with what we have. So
yeah, again, like I said, that sounds like it's underrated over there, places everything is focused on downtown. Again, like I said, we both been born and raised here in Fort Wayne, and we've seen the evolution of everything. But again, it's when the other mayors and stuff like that were running for office, they cared about the whole Fort Wayne. But now it's like they forgot about every place.
Yeah, I mean, and the other aspect is you have to look at affordable housing, which is definitely a problem downtown in particular because of
Mm-hmm.
the a lot of the expansion that's happened. It's actually made it so that there's no affordable housing downtown. So if you want to rent and you're going to be near the landing or you're going to be near those are not affordable housing. So if anything, it's you're paying $1,500 plus a month. Which depending on your situation you're going to want to look at a house for that kind of cost
Oh yeah, of
I
course.
mean you're looking at a $200,000-$300,000 house for what they're wanting to charge rent, so it's definitely not affordable housing, and it's going to attract different clientele, different kind of people, so you're not going to get the affordable housing aspect. So I know in the southwest part of Fort Wayne, we've definitely done a good job of having affordable housing. I mean, you have several apartment complexes that are under $1,000 a month. You have even some apartment complexes that are under $600 a month, which is definitely affordable housing compared to the city as a whole. So, and then in Waynedale, there's a lot of affordable housing too. So, yeah, I mean, the fourth district does of the best of any of the districts in terms of affordable housing. So that's another aspect of it, which is what draws people to the fourth district versus other districts. So.
Yeah, I mean it's a good area over there because again it's peaceful, it's quiet. But again, like I said, downtown they had the whole renovation thing. Like I lived over, there's a house that's where the not the Harrison is because obviously I work at the Harrison at Copper Spoon over that way, and I've seen it all change. But then they tore down the house I lived at, like where the what's the other apartment complex? Not the Harrison. It's like right on the other side of Parkview Field. I don't remember what it's
Oh,
called.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah,
But yeah, that's not cheap either. Again, like I said,
yeah,
and
yeah, they're paying 1,500 plus a month. So.
yeah, like I said, people got to realize vote for this guy. He actually cares. Again, most people don't care about the districts. Vote for him. Say when if I wanted to go vote for you, what day would I do that? And
So the first Tuesday in May, which is May 2nd, that's when the election is. But beyond that, starting in April, so starting the first week of April, that's when they do early voting. So Fort Wayne has a lot of access to early voting. So you can go to the Allen County Election Board, 1 East Main Street, and you can start voting first week of April. So yeah, if you live in the downtown area, you wouldn't be voting in the fourth district, but you if you are in the downtown area, you can stop by and vote. Park at the parking lot there, and then by the time you're voting, generally speaking, you don't even have to pay for parking. So, or if you do, it's $1. So yeah, you can early vote starting in April, and then the election's May. So.
now I also noticed too, whenever people get together for like what you're doing, do you have a team or are you slowly working on getting a team? Because again, I know you can't do it all by yourself because I
Yeah,
know it takes a team. So
absolutely. So that is what makes is going to make my campaign so successful is the people that are supporting me, helping me go door to door, make the phone calls, and the direct mailers that I'm going to do. That people help put those together. So I mean, Chris Dillon is my campaign manager. She has been involved in politics for a long time, so she understands the aspect of the door to door, which the door to door and facing voters face to face is a big part for me. So we're definitely going to go hard in March and April with that. So we've already started some of it, but in March and April, that's when we're going to go really hard with it. So.
say for instance, if I wanted to join the team myself and people that's watching the show right now, how could I be part of your team? Because again, you always got to have a big team, a little team, but again, there's always somebody out there that's willing to help you out too.
Yeah. So I mean, if you just reach out to me on Facebook or Joe Townsend for FortWayne.com is my you online, and you can search me that way. So my URL. Or you can just email me. I have my email address on there. So and my personal cell phone. So just give me a call. So.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't want to give your number out because I've done that before, man. I had phone calls blow up like crazy. I just don't want that to happen to you. But now the day of your speech, can you tell us the process of how that worked out? Because again, I know you had to have nerves and trying to get everything taken care of. How did you work that out with?
So I actually had it scheduled for the Wednesday before I did it, and then we had a snowstorm. So,
I remember
so then we switched it to Monday, which was this last Monday, just a couple of days ago, and and even in changing the date, we still had a very good crowd. So definitely over 50 people, between 50 and 100 people there. So it was definitely a lot of people. So I was good with the turnout. I was good with the people that introduced me. So I had Emery McClendon, Michael Moses at the Fort Wayne Comedy Club, Ivan Hood, and Vanessa. So they were all very good about speaking on behalf of what they're passionate about, which is small businesses, getting people out to vote. So making sure that we don't become a socialist city or country. So I mean that was all what they're very passionate about and what they did a very good job of mentioning. So
All right, before we go, anything to say to anybody that's watching?
no, just make sure to get out and vote.